So welcome back to the channel. We've got a full day of eating to get shredded. So I've been dieting for 4 weeks now. I've gone from about 96.5 kilos to 90.5 kilos. I'm now going to give you the insight of everything that I'm doing to get that result, and you can implement that in with your own nutrition. But I'm at the stage of prep now where appetite's kicking in, energy levels are dropping, a little bit ill at the minute as well. But I promise you guys that I'll be consistent. We'll be getting a video uploaded every single week. So yeah, now you can see an insight of what we do with my own nutrition. So starting off with meal one, we're gonna be going in with 100 grams of oats. We then got 10 grams of Biscoff, which has gone down. Started off at about 30 to 40. But the amount of calories it's got in it is gonna have to be the first thing because it doesn't keep me feeling full. 10 grams of honey going in there as well, just to essentially keep the oats tasting nice. But again, when calories get dropped, this will be one of the next things to go out of there. What you could implement in, especially if calories are very low, is Bulk do like a 0 calorie barista syrup. I'm not sponsored by Bulk or anything. This is purely on recommendation. Add 50 ml in there. All my clients put it in their oats. 0 calories, and it makes it taste unbelievable as well. I just don't think we can get it out here in Dubai. But meal one is going in at 10 a.m. So I wake up at 6, I fast for about 4 hours. Meal one goes in for 10 for 2 reasons. Firstly, I'm training in 3 hours, so it gives it a nice time to actually digest, so I can utilize the nutrients. But also routine is key in a dieting phase. If you're waking up, you're having meal one at like 6, meal two's going in at 9. Before you know it, you've used so many calories up very early on in the day. The rest of the day, like, you're just gonna be thinking about food. So you need to be smart, you need to be implementing a routine that's gonna increase your adherence to the plan. But on the way with meal one, I can't lie, I'm excited to eat it. Fasting for 4 hours when you're hungry is not the one, but you grind it out, the rest of the day is a lot easier from that point onwards. Then we're gonna go 10 grams of honey in there. Everything gets weighed out to an absolute T. There's no missing in prep, and you need to adopt that mindset. I mean, it depends how good you wanna look. I structure my content for people who wanna get in elite condition. Like, you don't wanna just look good, you wanna look unbelievable. And to get there, you need high standards. So what I recommend in a dieting phase, obviously life's for enjoying. Majority of the year you're gonna be spending going out for food, eating a lot of good food, but when you're dedicating 10 to 15 weeks to getting peeled, detach that value that you've got in terms of the enjoyment factor, be dialed in getting results, and you'll get in a condition that you probably don't even believe that you can get into. So whilst that's cooking, we're gonna add in 40 grams of whey protein. Thing is with protein, so I think a lot of people obsess over supplements. That's the last thing you should look at. Protein's not really even important. If you're getting enough protein from your food, then you don't need to supplement protein in. But for me, it's very easy. It also tastes nice. It helps hit the craving spot. So we're gonna add a little bit in. Digest quickly as well. So if you're having it pre-workout, post-workout, digest very quickly. Good to supplement in. But don't feel the need to go and buy it if you don't want it, essentially. I took my eye off it and started burning it, but to be fair, it still tastes unbelievable to me. We're gonna add some oats in there as well. It's important to not only hit your macronutrients, but you want a good food selection. You want your micronutrients in there. Firstly, for health purposes, but if you're looking to take it to an elite level, you need foods that are going to be optimizing performance. If you're hitting your macros off things like KFC just to hit your macros, firstly, you're going to feel sluggish, your performance levels aren't going to be optimal, you're not going to get an elite condition. Biggest or second biggest intake of carbs for the day. Firstly, to fuel performance levels. The second biggest carb meal is going to be post-workout meal, replenishing glycogen. So pre-workout, we need that glycogen in there to fuel performance. Post-workout, replenishing glycogen to aid with recovery. So meal one boxed off about 2 hours ago. Giving it enough time to actually digest. Now we're fueled, now we're ready. We send it for a big session. What's that?
Monster is from the meals, right?
Ghost. This is a lifesaver.
Ghost, sorry.
Lifesaver in prep. To be fair, I don't try and get addicted to them all year, just purely because I can't imagine it's mad healthy, but when calories are low, it just gives you that boost. Like, as soon as you start having it, you can't wind off it. So this is gonna get me through the next 4 weeks, getting those trenches. This will keep me going. Push session again. So what's important when you're adopting this aggressive approach is your training intensity. Like, you need to be fueled, you need to be ready, you need to go into that gym and train like your life depends on it, essentially. That's what I tell our clients, because the deeper you go into that negative energy drive, the increased risk of losing muscle. That's an increased requirement to push your sets to failure. You need to turn up, because if you drop off, then you give your body a reason to lose that muscle when it's in a catabolic state. You can lose that muscle. You need your protein intake at the right level, which we're going to look at later on in this video, but also your training intensity. You drive those sets to failure. You give your body a reason to retain that tissue. But for now, I'm going to enjoy this ghost because it's going to hit the spot. Finally, post-workout, what dreams are made of on prep. So post-workout, we've got 200 grams of chicken, we've got 300 grams of white potato, 100 grams of white rice, and today we've got 100 grams of carrots. Normally we'd go for broccoli, but they didn't have them in at Banús. So we've got a good quality protein source there in chicken. We've got 2 carb sources high in glycemic index, which means it's going to digest very quickly, it's going to replenish glycogen, it's going to aid with recovery, and then we've got some good micronutrients in the veg. Strongly recommend in prep probably utilizing white potato over rice. It's a lot more satiating, and essentially what that means is going to keep you feeling fuller for longer. So we've nailed it here. Typically in the UK, I actually used to go for more sweet things. So I used to have like Cocoa Pops, crumpets of jam, and a whey protein shake. But what I found being in Dubai, in the heat, is my appetite's actually lower, but my cravings for those sweet things are lower. But also, if I do have it, it does trigger the craving. So if I had Cocoa Pops now, when I taste something sweet, then in my head now, I'm just fighting a constant battle not to go and have another bowl. So with this, it keeps me feeling full. The nutrients, the glycogen, the protein source is absolutely perfect, and it hits the spot from an enjoyment factor too. So I'm gonna munch away at this and I'm gonna enjoy every single bite of it. So macros this meal, we've got 735 calories. Protein, we've got 75.5 grams. Carbs, 87.4. Fats, 9.1. So heavily protein, heavily carbs to replenish that glycogen, and also for muscle protein synthesis post-workout. So we've got meal 3 going in now. It's evening time in Dubai, as you can see outside. So meal 3, we've got another good quality protein source. I'm big on that. You see a lot of people ask me like protein bars, what are they like? Shit quality of protein. If you're serious about your physique development, go with good quality carb sources. That's gonna fuel performance levels. Utilize good protein sources, which is essential essentially for muscle protein synthesis. And then optimize good sources of fats. So things like avocados, salmon, healthy fats, absolutely essential for hormone optimization. So don't get me wrong, you still need to enjoy food. So things like if you want to have a small bowl of Cocoa Pops post-workout, a couple of crumpets, put them in there. But the majority of your food, you want to utilize it from good quality sources, especially in a dieting phase. You need foods that are going to keep you feeling full. Problem with the nice things like the cereals, etc., is it's not going to keep you feeling full. It's going to spike your blood sugar levels. In the long run, it's going to make you hungry, probably increase your cravings. You're probably not going to get that adherence. So keep it simple. Don't trigger your cravings too much. Enjoy what you eat, obviously, but keep the quality of food very, very high quality.
Can you smell it?
It smells good, doesn't it? Yeah. I didn't cook this. Got missus. Got the missus. Oh. I think in the last video I was cooking at the saucepan. Do you want to show them the microwave now? As soon as the missus comes, got air fryer, got microwave, coffee machine, NutriBullet. Even got plates in now. Yeah, no plastic shit. So things are starting to take shape. Not living like a caveman anymore. So, gonna eat this, and then, as I said earlier on in the video, just because this plan works for me, it's probably not gonna work for you. You're gonna be completely different in size, different metabolism, different activity level, different amount of muscle tissue to maintain. So, what we'll do is break down how you can work out your own nutrition plan. But yeah, what we've got here is beef mince, sweet potato, pepper, chopped tomatoes for the beef mince. I've got the calories. Look at the calories over here. So meal 3, we've got 500 calories. Again, 61 grams of protein, 43.4 grams of carbs, 9.5 grams of fats. Another high protein intake meal. Very important in a dieting phase for retaining tissue and keeping yourself feeling full. So in terms of building your own nutrition plan, you first of all in the first week, when starting a plan, first week to 2 weeks, you need to collect data and understand your body. Everyone's body's different. So go online, use like a basic BMR calculator, get a rough indication of what your maintenance calories are gonna be. Start on that plan. Within the first week, analyze how your body responds from a fat loss standpoint. How much scale weight do you gain? Do you maintain? Do you drop? Based on that, you can then make manipulations to the energy balance. So if you're looking to pull off a kilo per week, that's roughly gonna be 1,000 calorie deficit per day. So if your maintenance calories is gonna be 3K, to drop a kilo per week, you're roughly gonna be on 2,021, probably just under 1,000 because you're gonna drop a little bit of water. That 1,000 calories just purely for body fat. So I'd go in at 800 to 900 calorie deficit. So that's gonna put you on, say, 2,200 calories. Then protein is the most important macronutrient for firstly retaining tissue. So in a dieting phase, you actually need more protein than you would in a gaining phase. So a minimum of 2.5 grams per kilo of scale weight. The deeper you go into that dieting phase, there's actually an increased requirement for more. So between 2.5 and 3 grams, but to start, let's say 2.5. So you then optimize that within your energy balance. Fats are important for bodily function. So they essentially regulate hormones such as testosterone. If you neglect your fat intake, you're gonna see a breakdown in your hormonal balance, and a big impact to that, you're not gonna make progress, rather from a building muscle or retain a muscle standpoint, but it's also gonna affect your ability to lose body fat. So keep fats at a baseline level of roughly 40 grams. I wouldn't go lower than 40 grams. Anywhere up to 70 grams is what typically I would do for myself and what I'd implement for clients. The remainder of your calories will then be optimized from your carb intake. So the reason you keep fats in at a baseline level is firstly so you don't want to neglect your hormones, but you also want to make sure you're optimizing your carb intake. So carbs are obviously main source of energy. That's what's going to drive performance. It's also going to aid with recovery, replenishing glycogen post-workout. So you can work out your energy balance. You can then factor in what your protein's going to be at a baseline level, factor in what your fats are going to be at a baseline level, and then obviously you've got the remainder is going to be formed from the carbs. So from a macro and a calorie standpoint, that's how you're going to form it. Now in terms of the food selection in a dieting phase, you need the quality of protein obviously for muscle protein synthesis. You then need good quality sources of carbs. The problems with things like cereals, sweets, as I said earlier, it's going to spike your blood sugar levels, you're going to feel amazing, but then you're going to crash. Your performance levels aren't going to be to a good standard. So pre-workout, if you're having something sort of an hour before, you can have something higher in glycemic index. So it's essentially an index which shows you how quickly those carbs digest within your system. Come make my smoothie. It's a final meal of the day. We've got 50 grams of whey protein, 200 grams of berries, so blueberries and strawberries. We're then gonna have 150 grams of 0% fat Skyo yogurt with 100 grams of pineapple. So for the day now, that brings us to 2,385 calories. We've got 240 grams of protein. So it's about 2.6 grams per kilo of scale weight. We've got 46.4 grams of fats in there at a baseline level for the hormone optimization. Then we've then got 251 grams of carbs, obviously going in from the remainder of that. Any manipulations now? So obviously that's for this point in time. Started on a lot higher. I think I started on sort of 2.7, 2.8. So typically you'll start cardio low, you'll start food high, get the most from as little as possible while still achieving that rate of loss that you forecasted. And again, that's just gonna allow you to keep performance levels at the highest level that they can be in a deficit. Higher performance is more muscle retained on the back end of your dieting phase. I think a big problem people face and a mistake that they make is they go in with this conception that to lose body fat, you need to go so aggressive. So I'll jump on a call with someone and they'll say, I'm 85 kilos, can't lose body fat. Well, how many calories you're on? 1,500. Well, there's your first answer. Your body's accumulated that much fatigue and stress, stops responding. Your hormones on your ass, your metabolism is on your ass. There's a process called adaptive thermogenesis. The fewer calories you consume, slower your metabolism is going to become. Yes, you might drop a lot of weight quickly. You're going to hit a wall with that. And where do you go when calories on your ass? Absolutely nowhere. So you hit a wall, your performance levels break down, you feel like shit, you look like shit, and you stop making progress. So there's another bit of free education for you. Make sure you drop me a subscription, like the video, first time dropping that in. But yeah, that's it for what I eat in a day. Obviously, food will come down now. So I'm sitting just below 2.4, coming in at 90 kilos. Analyze how the body responds when I stop coming in at that kilo light that we forecasted. We'll make more manipulations. We'll rather be pulling from carb sources to keep that rate of loss moving, adding more expenditure until I drop down to that body fat percentage. Coming in pretty tight, considering 5 weeks ago I was a fat fucker. It's coming in, can you see that in the lighting?
Yeah.
It's not bad, it's not bad.
Sick.
Coming in tight. So I think I've got another 4 or 5 kilos to come off. Probably in the dieting phase, around 2K calories, probably pull 100 off per week just to keep yielding that same response. Then we're gonna be lean, we're gonna be responsive, then we're gonna be getting in the gaining phase. Might do a 15K food challenge tempted to get that in there. But what we'll do is another what I eat in a day video, but for building tissue, show you how to pack on that size. But on next week's video, we're gonna be doing a training tutorial. So I'm gonna be showing you guys an in-depth chest session, all the little tricks, all the little tips that you guys need to build a big chest. So as ever, we'll catch you guys 6 p.m. on Monday now. We've moved videos from Sunday to Monday, so catch you guys then.